Hello Internet, how's it going? The Nintendo Switch is finally out. Everybody has been talking about it, like left and right. You can't run down a channel, like you can't pretty much scroll down a gaming section at the moment without somebody talking about the Nintendo Switch. So let me go ahead and throw my hat in the ring and cover just about everything that kind of has been presented so far and give my opinions on it. So, starting this thing off right, we have to talk about, well, pricing, okay? Because again, most of the people leave that for pretty much the end. But let's kind of nip this in the bud right now. $300. That is pretty much where the Switch should be, because again, if it's above that, we have a problem. If it's under that, we have a problem. Because again, this is essentially it's a damn tablet with two controllers that attach onto the side of it. Pretty much, it's that goddamn. It's pretty much like that add-on for your 3DS. You know, the one that pretty much gives it like a second thumbstick. So pretty much it's that, except for it's just the whole console now, or pretty much just a portable Wii U. So that's kind of what it looks like. Now, as for why I say that, well, pretty much we kind of can't go no further than the it's competition. Again, the PlayStation, I believe, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Slim, and also the PlayStation Pro, like it's gonna be around the 300 to 400 mark there. So if it goes above that, it's already trying to match like a heavy hitter, which it's not gonna beat. So it's best to just go with the previous model, obviously. And the same thing can be said for the Xbox and the Xbox Scorpio. So that's also a thing as well. However, the Xbox Scorpio is kind of seeming to kind of break the $500 mark. So again, it kind of has to go below that. Kind of moving on to the other big elephant in the room, which is that this system is not going to be backwards compatible, or at the very least, it's not going to be physically backwards compatible with previous 3DS and also Wii U games. Even though that's kind of been Nintendo's staple at the moment, and people pretty much just kind of did like a complete 180 upon the fucking console when they heard about that shit, of saying, listen, this thing, it does not have backwards compatibility, and people practically crying all over the fucking internet over it. So that is also something that you gotta take with a grain of salt. But still, talking about the backwards compatibility though, I really can't really call it wrong for that, unless they do what PlayStation did, or do what Xbox did. Well, Xbox, you can't do what they did, but you can probably do what Sony did with the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 4 game thing, and then pretty much just make all of your games pretty much accessible through download or through well, they do have their eShop, so there's always that, but there's a good chance that might not even be a thing, to whereas that, well, you can just re-download them again, because again, this is a physical, well, they take physical cartridges, and most likely they may just re-release the games all over again. I mean, hell, how many times have they re-released Twilight Princess and fucking Wind Waker at this point? So it's a good chance that those will actually kind of just be re-released upon the Switch console. So you just go ahead and just pick that up. You know. Moving on to the other crazy thing that probably could confuse a few people. That is, the main dock of the 3DS is not the main console. It's actually the LED screen, the two controllers, and I gotta be perfectly honest with you. When I first saw that, and this is supposed, well, I get it. I fucking get it. That they're marketing this towards adults, and that they're marketing towards like grown-ups and shit. But the more I think about it, the more it fucking hits me. People are gonna give these to their kids, okay? And if you really think about kids, okay, you have, well, if the dock isn't the console, okay, the LED screen and the two controllers that are on the side that you can turn over, that you can turn to the side and then pretty much use them like as miniature controllers, kids are gonna lose those. Or pretty much, if you really think about it, it's like, well, what if you drop one and then it breaks, or someone steals it, or pretty much like one just doesn't work, you know? Like, question always kind of remains for things like this is that I think it would highly piss somebody off if they would kind of lose something like that. Now, of course, I'm kind of making like a system a controller argument, which really doesn't kind of hold all that much water, but still, think about that. If this is something that you gave to your kids upon Christmas and then they just lose the controller the same day, nothing you can really do about it, or pretty much like that they slide it in and then break the controller. I mean, again, this kind of controller is very different from that, because again, if I break like one of these buttons, it's not gonna like fuck up it might not fuck up something upon like the actual thing. And besides, who's to say that you probably can't dock this damn thing? Well, you can use different controllers, of course, but when you're out, when you're out and about, I think that can probably kill like its shelf life or of taking it out, especially since this thing is bulky as fuck, and you can't put it in your pocket. I mean, still, like, if you break the controllers, well, now using it as a handheld is kind of fucking done. So, I mean, of course, like that they lock in place, but still, like, that is something to worry about, But that's just me though. That's kind of a personal complaint of my own, or something that worries me. That's just what that is. And also kind of jumping on to the whole graphical thing that is going on with the Wii U at this point in time, or not the Wii U, the Nintendo Switch. I really got to get used to calling it that, because again, like, the Wii just was at the forefront. But still, the new thing about this is its graphics. Pretty much, Nintendo came out and said, "Listen, look, the few games in which we showed you during the trailer, the graphics may look different than that when you actually get your hands on the console. So most likely that it may not be Skyrim levels or pretty much like NBA 2K levels, but honestly, since that the 3DS it did have pretty good graphics, and from what I've seen with the goddamn Wii U, it wasn't groundbreaking, but when they focused on something, it did look good. So it's a good chance that is going to become something. Also, since that they can get Unreal 4 running on the Nintendo Switch, it's a good chance that the games they made they might look good and amazing. So I am looking forward to that. Still not gonna buy it. Well, I probably might not buy it, but still, it's something to look forward to say, well, hey, it looks beautiful. And also, well, moving on to the other thing that's kind of looking kind of nice, and I think that this one was kind of recent, is that the Nintendo Switch has fewer consoles to ship than the launch of the Wii U. So most likely Nintendo is just being cautious with what they have. And I actually kind of agree with that, because again, this one's kind of a lukewarm in the middle kind of thing, and they can easily go the route of Sega here, well, they already went the route of Sega by fucking releasing a console in the middle of the console war that they possibly might not even be a part of anymore. So that's a very risky thing for them to do. However, I will say that them wisely doing this and putting out putting out less than more just to sort of see where the market is actually a wise idea. Because again, you don't want to put out a product and nobody's buying it, which these last few articles I'm gonna just pull together, because again, they're kind of the same thing. Kirishima comes out and leaves a tweet saying that there will be no more news, or at least official news upon the Nintendo Switch until 2017, specifically January 12th, 2017. So I believe around those times that they will actually try their hardest to pretty much put out every single piece of information about the console and everything that is going on with it. I know that this is a poorly made made video that's kind of just dragging a whole bunch of articles of the NX and pulling them here. But honestly, I kind of wanted to sum up the entire week within one video, and I kind of wanted to just test the waters and see where everything is going. You know, pretty much from the price point where that needs to be $300 or else it's going to die. The whole thing about like graphics and pretty much it looks beautiful, but don't expect that every game to be Skyrim or NBA 2K, all the way down to the whole backwards compatibility thing, to how it looks, which again, it still scares me how it looks, because who's to say that this damn thing, that it might not be super fragile and it might just break like after one hit or something like that. Or most likely it's like this whole thing is like one gigantic docking station and I see where they're going with it. Well, it's an upgraded Wii U. It's a Wii U 2.0, all the way down to the whole thing of its announcement. And I kind of like it. I kind of like this console. I like where it's going, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna make any headway in the gaming industry, because again, it's going to fucking die out, like compared to its competition. Or like it's gonna die first out of all of this competition, or most likely it's not gonna change anybody's mind about Nintendo. And reason for that is because no matter what the third-party companies say, which that they don't really matter at this point, you know, because again, they all supported the Wii U, and that didn't make much of a difference. And now that they support the Switch, it's also very difficult to say, because again, no matter if they support it or not, you still got to get that revenue out there. So, you know. But as far as I know, the Switch is looking nice. It has a good pop. Let's say it has some beautiful popularity behind it. The fanboys, or at least like the people in the Nintendo corner, finally have something to rant and rave about, and hopefully it can live up to their expectations. But until then, that is what I have to say about that. Please tell me what do you think about this down there in the comment section. I will catch you on the next Jongravesshow. Keep watching anime, keep playing video games, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.